boys and girls. This is day 3 slides for our story, Farfallina and Marcel. We're going to read some words. These are all words that use the consonant LE pattern. We're also going to split them into syllables to help you see how you would do that with some of these words. Now let me get this a little closer here. Okay. All right, we have the word cattle. Now, if we were to put that into syllables, it would be cat and tull. We would split it between the two T's. This word is wrinkle. The W is silent. So where would I split this into syllables? Well, between the N and the K. Wrinkle. Triple. Triple, like he hit a triple in the baseball game. This would split between the I and the P. The P has to stay with the LE. Remember, it's a consonant LE. They have to stay together. Shuffle. Split it between the two F's. Bubble. Split it between the two B's. Bub, bull. Single. Well, I know the G has to go with the LE. So if I were to divide it into syllables, it would be SIN and then GLE. Bottle, between the two T's. Sizzle, between the Z's. Double, this is a hard one. Just remember, the B has to stay with the LE because it's a consonant LE. So that's going to be the second syllable. So our first syllable is just D-O-U, duh, bull. Tackle. Now the K has to stay with the LE, so it would split between the C and the K. Mingle. Keep that G with the LE, split it between the N and the G. Mingle. Settle, between the two T's. Mumble. Mum, bull. So you would separate it between the M and the B. Mumble. Gentle, between the N and the T. Crinkle. If something has a crinkle sound, the K has to stay with the LE, so divide it between the N and the K. Uncle. Again, it would split between the N and the C. So that's how you would divide those into their two syllables. Okay, let's read a few more words. Let's just read them. Jolly. Jelly, whisk, whip, north, rejoice, quote, blue. And here's a sentence or two. Be gentle, handle it with care. The twins were double trouble. Did you find all the consonant LE words that are there? We have gentle and handle, double and trouble. And then down here we have sprinkled, bumble, bumblebee, and bottle cap. All right, next we have tea kettle. Kettle with the word tea in front of it, tea kettle. Troublemaker, timetable, battlefield, saddlebag, needlework, sand castle, soap bubble. All right, let's go to some contractions. Now, yesterday we talked about contractions. Today we're going to talk about them a little more and some different ones that we didn't talk about yesterday. Look at the first sentence. We are so puzzled in our house. The words we are underlined. So we have to decide, how are we going to make them a contraction? Now remember, the first word, you don't mess with it. Keep it as we. The second word, get rid of that first vowel. Use your apostrophe to show that's where it should be, and then add the last two letters. So that's we're. We're is a contraction of we and are. You are sure they were there yesterday? My mother asks. You are. We're trying to make a contraction. That contraction would be your, but it's not spelled like you think. So we're going to keep the first word, Y-O-U. The second word, get rid of that first vowel and replace it with an apostrophe. And then the R-E. Your. Okay, that's different than if you're saying, I'm going to your house. That's spelled differently. This is a contraction of you and are. You are. I am certain, I tell her. How will we combine I and am? As I've said before, keep the first word exactly as it is. Get rid of the first vowel, replace it with an apostrophe, and then write the next one. I'm. Well, they are not in the tree today, my sister says. They are. We're going to make a contraction. Now, even if you're not sure what it would be, you can still make it. Because what do? The first word stays the same. T-H-E-Y. The second word, get rid of that first vowel, put an apostrophe, and then R-E. Now, that's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to rewrite that one right here. T-H-E-R, I'm sorry. It's T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. There. There, they are is there. So we have we're, your, I'm, and there. Those are contractions. Here's a few more. We are wondering if the baby birds finally learned to fly. We are. Keep the first word, get rid of the next letter, put an apostrophe, and add the rest of it. We're. It is a starry night. Keep the first word, get rid of the vowel, put in an apostrophe, and add the last letter. It's. We are gazing at the stars. That should sound familiar. We just did it. We, get rid of the A, put in an apostrophe, add R-E. We're gazing at the stars. They are beautiful. What do? Keep the first word, they, get rid of the first vowel, replace it with an apostrophe, and then add the R-E. There. It is going to be nice tomorrow. Keep the word it, get rid of the I, put an apostrophe, and add the S. It's. You are reading books about stars. You and are together. Keep you, get rid of that vowel A, put an apostrophe in its place, and then R-E, your. So these are contractions. These are a little harder than the contractions we did yesterday. But if you just remember, keep the first word as it is, get rid of the next vowel, replace it with an apostrophe, and then just finish writing the word and you'll have it. Okay? All right, now let's skip on down. We did those. There we go. Now, we're going to talk about the difference between using a dictionary and a thesaurus. Remember, a dictionary has all the words in the English language, and it tells you what they mean. A thesaurus is not going to give you meanings. It's going to give you either synonyms or antonyms of those words. Let's take a look. I have the word peer. Now, in the dictionary, peer means to look over or around something. Now we know what peer means, to look at something. But if I go to the thesaurus, I can find other words that mean the same as peer. You see, peer is the same as look, gaze, stare, peep, and peek. So, the thesaurus is going to give you synonyms, words that mean the same. But a dictionary is going to give you the definition and then use it in a sentence. Now we have some questions. Which word in the definition is a synonym for peer? So now they want us to look at the definition. A definition is found in a dictionary. To look over or around something. Which word there is a synonym? Look. What other words are synonyms for peer? That's where we go to the thesaurus. Look, gaze, stare, peep, and peek are all synonyms for peer. Okay, and now we have the word giggle. Again, in the dictionary, it tells us that giggle means to laugh with short, repeated sounds. I giggled when I saw the blocks fall down. That's what the word means. But if I go to a thesaurus, it's going to give me synonyms, words that mean the same. Which word in the definition is a synonym for giggle? Okay, definition, we have to go to a dictionary. To laugh with short, repeated sounds. Which one of those words means the same as giggle? Laugh, yes. What other words are synonyms for giggle? That's where we go to a thesaurus. We could say laugh, chuckle, snicker, and cackle. Those are all synonyms for the word giggle. All right, now let's read. This is a passage from our story, and I'm going to read it so that you can hear exactly where you should take a pause for a period or a comma. Every time you see the two lines, that's a period, that's a little bit longer pause. One line is for a comma, that's a shorter pause. So here's what it should sound like. Marcel stopped suddenly. He beat the water with his strong wings. Then he swam round and round and round. "It's me, Farfallina," he shouted. "It's me, Marcel. Is that really you?" "It is," Farfallina shouted back. They looked at each other and laughed. All right, contractions and possessive pronouns. All right, let's see if we can pick which word would be the correct one. "We like to watch your owls," my sister said. Now remember, the contraction, this one, is really as if you were saying you are. So I'm going to write that in here. And then we're going to see if that makes sense. We like to watch You Are Owls, my sister said. Does that sound right to you? No, so this is not the correct your, because it doesn't make sense if we put you are into the sentence. So the correct one is this one. That's showing that the owls belong to this person. They're bigger every time we see them, she exclaimed. Now again, when you see a contraction, take it back apart. What two words make up there? Well, that would be they are. Now, if I use those words in the sentence instead of there, let's see if it makes sense. They are bigger every time we see them, she exclaimed. Does that make sense? It sure does. They are bigger. So there, the contraction, is the correct there to use. It's very exciting when they fly from tree to tree. Let's see which. They both say it's, but one's a contraction and one is showing that it belongs to someone. The contraction, it's, is really the two words it is. It is very exciting when they fly from tree to tree. Does that make sense? It does. So in this case, the contraction it's is the correct one. Thank you for showing us their nests, we said. So these are both the word there, but they're spelled differently. We have there, which is the contraction of they are. Now, we'll know if that's the right one if we put the words they are into the sentence and it makes sense. Let's see. Thank you for showing us they are nests, we said. That didn't sound quite right. Well, whose nests are they? They're the owls. So it should be this there, because it's showing that the nests belong to the owls. It's not the contraction. You're very welcome, said the bird watcher. Now, are we showing that something belongs to you or someone? Or are we saying it's you are? You are very welcome, said the bird watcher. That makes sense to me. So it must be the contraction of you and are, your. It's kind of hard, I know, when the words sound the same. You just have to think a little bit more about it to decide which one to use. All right, and that's the end of our slides for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.